Psychology Bank presents 10 toxic traits you need to watch out for in relationships. Please subscribe and share. I would to hear from you in the comment section if you had experience of such. Now, in the realm of relationships, embracing healthy connections is essential for our emotional growth and well-being. Recognizing toxic traits is the first step toward building fulfilling partnerships. Let's explore a few enlightening stories that highlight these toxicities, reminding us of the beauty of healthy relationships. Once lived a woman named Sarah, who found herself entangled with a man named Jack. At first, Jack's charm was intoxicating, but as time passed, his manipulative nature surfaced. He twisted simple disagreements into emotional storms, leaving Sarah questioning her reality. One day, she stood tall and recalled her worth. She chose to walk away. This act of self-preservation ignited her journey towards self-discovery, reminding her that love should never feel like a battlefield. In another corner of the world, a young man named Tom was enamored with Lisa. Lisa's enchanting allure clouded Tom's judgment until jealousy reared its ugly head. She questioned his every interaction and often resorted to scrutinizing his friendships. Overwhelmed by suffocation, Tom realized that love should liberate, not confine. He learned that a partner should inspire trust and confidence rather than breed insecurity. Then there was Mia, who had a friend named Jake. While Jake was fun, he often played the victim card in any situation. Mia found herself drained as Jake refused to acknowledge his role in their problems. One evening, during a heart-to-heart, Mia shared how uplifting it is to embrace accountability. That moment sparked Jake's transformation. He stepped away from victimhood and began taking responsibility, empowering both their lives. These stories remind us to seek relationships filled with support, empathy, and accountability. Toxic traits like manipulation, jealousy, and victim mentality can pull us down, but they also serve as a catalyst for growth. By understanding these behaviors and choosing to distance ourselves from them, we make room for genuine connections that nurture our souls. Surround yourself with those who uplift, inspire, and foster mutual respect. Your emotional garden deserves nothing less. Embrace the journey to healthy relationships and watch your life blossom immensely. When it comes to relationships, we've all been there, stuck in a cycle of negativity, feeling drained, and wondering why we can't seem to break free. The truth is, some people can bring out the worst in us, and it's not always easy to recognize when we're dealing with someone who's toxic. But recognizing these traits is crucial if we want to maintain healthy connections and avoid getting sucked into the whirlwind of emotional drama. Toxic traits can have a devastating impact on our relationships, causing us to feel anxious, insecure, and unheard. They can lead to emotional distress, sleepless nights, and a general sense of unease. And the worst part is, these traits can be so subtle that we might not even realize we're dealing with them until it's too late. When we're in the midst of a toxic relationship, it's easy to get caught up in the cycle of blame, defensiveness, and emotional reactivity. But the truth is, toxic traits are not just about the other person, they're about us too. They're about our willingness to accept unhealthy behavior, to ignore red flags, and to put up with emotional abuse. When we're in a relationship with someone who exhibits toxic traits, it can be incredibly challenging to maintain our own sense of identity and self-worth. We might start to doubt ourselves, our feelings, and our perceptions. We might begin to feel like we're walking on eggshells, constantly trying to avoid conflict or drama. And we might even start to internalize the negativity, wondering if we're the problem or if we're just not good enough. But here's the thing. It's not about us. It's about recognizing the toxic traits for what they are and taking responsibility for our own emotional well-being. The good news is, once we're aware of these traits, we can start to make changes. We can start to set boundaries, prioritize our own needs, and cultivate self-care. We can start to recognize our own strengths and weaknesses and learn to communicate our feelings in a healthy, assertive way. And we can start to build relationships that are based on mutual respect, trust, and emotional intelligence. Moving on, let's talk about the 10 toxic traits to watch out for in relationships. Number 1 is emotional manipulation. when someone tries to control our emotions or make us feel guilty for not doing what they want. Number 2 is gaslighting, when someone denies reality or makes us question our own sanity. Number 3 is stonewalling, when someone refuses to communicate or acknowledge our feelings. Number 4 is defensiveness, when someone gets overly defensive or dismissive of our concerns. Number 5 is blame shifting, when someone shifts the blame onto us for their own mistakes. Number 6 is emotional unavailability, when someone is emotionally distant or unresponsive. Number 7 is criticism, when someone constantly criticizes or puts us down. Number 8 is jealousy, when someone becomes overly possessive or controlling. Number 9 is lack of accountability, when someone refuses to take responsibility for their actions. And number 10 is grandiosity, when someone has an inflated sense of self-importance. Out of all these traits, I think the most dangerous one is emotional manipulation. When someone tries to control our emotions, it can be incredibly debilitating. They might make us feel guilty for not doing what they want, or they might make us feel like we're crazy for feeling a certain way. And the worst part is, emotional manipulation can be so subtle that we might not even realize it's happening until it's too late. That's why it's so crucial to recognize the signs of emotional manipulation and to take action as soon as we see them. Recognizing these toxic traits is not about judging or labeling others. It's about taking care of ourselves. It's about recognizing our own strengths and weaknesses and learning to communicate our feelings in a healthy, assertive way. It's about setting boundaries, prioritizing our own needs, and cultivating self-care. And it's about building relationships that are based on mutual respect, trust, and emotional intelligence. Thanks for watching, and I hope you found this video helpful in recognizing the toxic traits that can hold you back in relationships. If you've had any experiences with toxic relationships, I'd love to hear about them in the comments below. And if you're interested in learning more about building healthy relationships, be sure to check out my next video on the topic. Thanks again, and I'll see you in the next one.